What every Social Security disability applicant who has chronic headaches or migraines needs to know about how the Social Security Administration views these claims and what needs to be in your records. Headaches and migraine claims are often denied because the Social Security Administration says there really isn't objective evidence of your diagnosis. Look, there's no gold standard test for the diagnosis, and many times CT scans or MRIs are normal. The diagnosis is made based on your subjective complaints, and it's made in part by identifying a recurrent headache that has the following symptoms: sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound, sensitivity to movement, nauseousness, vomiting, auras, visual disturbances such as tunnel vision or blind spots. And the Social Security Administration will want to see that other organic medical conditions have been ruled out as a cause of these headaches. Now, the Social Security Administration will consult the International Headache Society's table that has the diagnostic criteria that will be used to explain the basis of the diagnosis and your symptoms. And so what they'll want to see in your medical records is the basis of the diagnosis, visits to the emergency room or hospitalizations, the results of objective testing like MRIs or CT scans to rule out other causes for your headaches, migraines that occur at least twice a week, and they'll want to see a headache diary. They'll also want to see a history of your symptoms and how those symptoms impact your ability to function on a daily basis, how long you have those symptoms, and how you feel after your migraine has receded or gone away. They'll want to see your medication, the dosage, and your response to medication. And if you have side effects of medication, as many do, they'll want to see that you've changed medications, and they'll want to see your reaction to that medication. And they'll want to make sure you've complied with your doctor's recommendations for treatment. I think that it is really crucial to keep a headache diary or a calendar and give your physician a copy at every visit. Ask that it be made part of your chart. Keep a copy for yourself. I think it's also crucial that you see a neurologist who specializes in headaches and migraines, and if necessary, be seen by a pain specialist. Many times the Social Security Administration will say, you're just not getting appropriate care. Now, the Social Security Administration uses a 5-step sequential evaluation in evaluating your case. And at step 3, there is no listing for headaches. So the majority of the time, these cases are decided at steps 4 and 5 based on medical and vocational criteria. It's crucial that you have your doctor complete what's called a residual functional capacity form. That form will determine, or let the doctor determine, what you can and cannot do because of your chronic headaches or migraines. That's crucial because when you apply for benefits, the Social Security Administration is going to look at your records. And if they can't tell whether you can do sedentary work, light work, medium work, or heavy work, they'll default to a position in which they'll say you have some capacity to either do your old work or other work. In fact, they'll have your file reviewed by a medical consultant who probably hasn't practiced in 100 years to make that determination. So it really is crucial that your doctor complete that residual functional capacity form that will document what it is you can do despite your problems with chronic headaches or migraines. That form will answer a lot of crucial questions. The questions on that form include how long you can stand and sit at one time and for an 8-hour workday, how much and how often you can lift, stoop, squat, and bend during an 8-hour workday, whether you would be off task for at least 15% of the workday because of your pain, whether you have to take frequent rest breaks throughout the day because of nauseousness, pain, or the side effects of medication, whether you've got problems with concentration and focus, whether you would have problems starting a task and completing a task on a timely basis, whether you have problems with your short-term memory that makes it hard to understand just the simplest of instructions, whether you have good days and bad days, and if so, how many you have per week. Would you miss time from work every month and how many days? And do you have any psychological problems such as anxiety or depression because of your headaches? Now, as I said, this isn't a complete laundry list of all the questions that are asked, but I hope that you see that by having this information, the Social Security Administration can determine your residual functional capacity. Many times, cases are lost because this form isn't filled out or the doctor refuses to fill out the form, and that can be a disaster. Why is that? Because the other part of this equation at step 4 and 5 is the vocational component. And the Social Security Administration or the judge is going to determine, based on that residual functional capacity, whether you can go back to the lightest physically demanding job you held in the 15 years before you became disabled, and whether there's any other work you can do in the mythical national economy of your age, education, and skill levels. If you have to leave this to chance, the chances are you're not going to get your Social Security disability benefits. And if you have to apply for a hearing, I can assure you there'll be a very important person at that hearing called a vocational evaluator. The answer to the judge's questions that are given by that vocational evaluator can make or break your case. At step 4, the judge is going to ask that vocational evaluator to assume that you have certain functional capabilities. So you might be able to sit and walk and stand for 6 out of 8 hours a day, lift 10 pounds. And if the VE says you can go back to the lightest job you've done in the 15 years before you became disabled, you'll lose. Now, that hypothetical had none of the problems in it that you would typically see with a migraine sufferer. There were no questions about the need for breaks, the need to have different environmental conditions because of lighting issues, the question about staying on pace, the question of absenteeism. And so if the judge isn't asked the right questions, you're going to lose. And if the judge doesn't ask the next question, or the VE gives the wrong answer, you're also going to lose. And that question is there any other work that this person can do in the mythical economy in view of their age, education, transferable skills, and that residual functional capacity that I outlined? If that vocational evaluator rattles off 3 jobs and no more questions are answered, you lose. It's crucial that you have an attorney represent you, I think, at every stage of a Social Security disability claim. Why is that? Statistics show that those who don't have representation are denied 2/3 of the time at both the initial application stage and the request for reconsideration stage. And the statistics also show that the chances of you getting your benefits at hearing are greater when you are represented by an experienced Social Security disability attorney. Don't put your Social Security disability benefits and your medical benefits at jeopardy by being a do-it-yourselfer. Make the call, Cavey Law, 727-894-3188. I look forward to giving you a complimentary consultation and explaining to you your rights to Social Security disability benefits as a result of chronic headaches and migraines.